Good morning, everybody. How is your weekend here? Now, welcome to the breakfast show, Money Talk with SmartRobie. This is Martin Wong. I hope you had a great weekend like I do. I always try to enjoy my weekend. But last Saturday, we also did something different, which is we have our one-day foundation in Bursa. And thank you for those of you who have came to our course. And I'm sure you have learned a lot. But let's continue with what we have today. I felt that with the combination of what we teach you in our separate courses, plus the macroeconomics, plus the news, plus the chart reading, I'm sure many of you will become very astute investor and trader. That's one of our wishes that we do in this free program. Hope we can impart this very important information that we teach you absolutely free. So we really hope that you can share this video in your timeline and with many other people so they will like it. That is the only hope of now. Now, last weekend we have the 4th of July. Many of you know there was a big thing going on in US at the Mount Rushmore, where they have the 4 famous president, and Donald Trump want to be that famous president now, right? But you all know what happened is there is a spike in the coronavirus. Now take note, right? And that is why we see the rubber glove, top glove, Kosan, Hata, Supermax, and Comfort this morning started to run up. It's no rocket science, to be frank with you. Now you see all these big spike that we see in Florida and so forth, which means in 2 weeks' time, this will come out. Now remember, we all know like coronavirus takes about 2 weeks. That is why right now until 2 weeks, all your rubber show jalan man. So those of you who don't have any rubber, make sure you get some rubber. But I do find one stock for you today for the premium alert in the latest slide that you can get in, which one of the audience was saying, hey, what happened to this stock? How come every rubber glove jalan, but this one didn't jalan? Today, this one is going to move right now. So let's look at the story that we have for you in here. But don't forget, if you're a first time listener, do type 1 in there. We really appreciate it. Just type 1 so I would know our program is designed for you, so you understand better too. And also don't forget to download a copy of SmartRobie in your app if you have not done so, and also share so you get extra free credit for yourself. Now let's go on to our first story for today, which I think very quite important too. Let's take a look, okay? Now, first story for today is about oil and gas. Now, many of you talk about this level in here. Now, oil and gas hasn't been really performing. We all know Malaysia is a net exporter, soon to be net importer of oil and gas. And when many of our public listeners used to be, they are the darling in a couple of years ago, but now they has been replaced by the rubber glove and also the tech company. So this story talks about new contract has been delayed. Now, let's look at it. However, having said that, I always tell people, if you make that money in rubber glove, position yourself for the next sector. This will be one of the topics. As a matter of fact, some people did raise this in our questions that we have. So what are the sectors, Martin, are you looking at? So in the forthcoming talk that we're doing, we'll be looking those sectors. Again, these talks are absolutely free, so you get this benefit on your own. Now, if you look at the story, what we talk about, many analysts sees that Q3, all recovery. So remember, I always talk about what did Warren Buffett always say? You always buy when there's what? Good news or bad news? What do you think? You want to buy when there is really bad news. So the Q3 2020 is where you see the recovery coming. Right now, what we've seen with the post-COVID, we have seen new contracts drop 74% quarter on quarter and 70% drop year on year. So that is really taking the number of contracts that has been dished out only to 569 million, which is not a lot considering the amount of investment that is taking up a lot by the oil and gas player in here. But if you look on the right hand side, there are a couple of goods one like Dialog, Dayang, which you can actually take a look at it. Let's look at one of the one that I have, basically is Dialog. Let's look at Dialog. All right, I'm going to show you the chart here. All right, just give me a minute as I dial into Dialog. Right, just want to show you the chart here. You can see on the right hand side. So just hit on to the stock chart, and remember all our charts have a buy and sell signal in here. Now this is looking pretty good despite you see the red pentagon, right, which that's translated to the orange band zone. So that means the market is not ready to move up. But you notice the last 3 days, right, we got line change. And just take a look at this morning here, whether this news has moved Dialog to go higher. What do you think? So let's take a look. Yes, Dialog is only up 0.5%. All right, we'll take a look at it. And there's also Dayang and Hibiscus. Those of you who can't see that one, let me just lift it up so you can see it. These are the three oil and gas stocks that I believe it's profitable. How do I know that? Just hit on to at least stock fundamentals. Okay, and you can see that one. So that's really one of the benefit in here. No doubt it's only 1 out of 8 because of the return of equity. It's a bit lower. All right. Now, also carry on the same story that we have here, right? There's also another 20 to 30% capex reduction, right, by all the big players, whether it is Exxon, Shell, or the newly IPO Shell, Aramco, and also Petronas. So which means this tells you not so hot compared to what we talked about previously in the rubber glove. Those of you who have not watched the rubber glove talk that I have, go over to YouTube, and it's a very good breakdown. And you really listen to what I have to say in the rubber glove, and you really kind of find out what's going to happen, and just follow the breakfast show that I do every morning in here, and you will be not left out with all the current trends, that's for sure. Now, next point is also oil is going to stabilize around 40 to 45 ringgit for this year. And of course, most analysts just do what we call a 10%, 10 to 12% projection for next year. And that's what it's only 45 to 50 US dollar for 2020. But actually, they all don't know lah. It's just for strategic planning. Nobody know what's all going to be next year, but we do know if you see Tesla doing well, which Tesla already hit 1,000 US dollar, right? Some of you may know over the weekend. If you not, just type Tesla, TSLA, on your trading view terminal, and you know what I mean. With EV going higher, with all the technology, oil and gas futures, and so this is more of a short-term play. Right, but right now, if you do want to know, the oil prices is 42.85. Just take a look at them. All right, let's move on to our second story. Now, second story actually focus on something that you and me, we all have. Property, that's right. Now, this came out on the Edge weekend. So I was sitting down over the weekend. I was saying, on Monday, what is that I want to share with my audience? That's you, because we want to make this program very informative, very insight that, you don't really need to read newspaper. I read it for you, okay, and I'll analyze it for you. So what's actually ailing, the Malaysian property sector in here? I know some of you may have 10 properties. I also have invested in property. Some has done okay, some has not done okay, but you all know where I'm coming from. Yield has dropped. So what is actually causing this problem? The ailment means sakit okay. Now the story actually focus on there are many parts they talk about, but in terms of investing, as an investor, as a property investor, I focus on the price growth. Now, if you note that the price growth from this chart, if you don't just go over to Edge over there, from 2009, right, we see the price actually move above year on year, 10%. Before that, before 2009, you get 5% increase, also good already. So after 2009, where people jump in and make money. Of course, 2012, we will see the slowdown in here. But the story was very interesting. What it simply says that people who went in early 2009, man, some of them become millionaire. Now, how many of you became millionaire from property? Don't type inside there. You become property millionaire, just keep it to yourself. I'm sure some of you are listening are property sifu, some of my sifu inside there. Also at that time, 2009 was also a turning point for me, more a tipping point, whether I want to become a property investor, right, or want to become a stock investor, which is what I'm doing today. I think stock investor and property investor, there are two. Because on property, I think many of you know, it's the weekend that you're going to be very, very busy running around it. Okay, so much for that one. I think after watching a while, you probably know my kind of things that I do over weekend. Okay, now the other part also talk about this story about home affordability. Now, if you look at it, what it simply tells you how expensive our home has become due to the prices that's been speculated. Now, here simply tells you from 2006 onwards, usually we are looking at 5.5 years, meaning you save money. Let's say you don't spend 5.5 years on average, right? Depending now, of course, where you are, whether you're B20, B40 or high 40, okay? So what you're trying to say, just take it as the research says so, 5.5 times, 5.5 years average, if you look back, but now he has gone beyond 9 years that you see and coming up to 10 years. So what this simply says is that for most people, they cannot afford Property. Again, then depend where you are, but I think this one is just focused on Klang Valley. If you are listening from Sabah and Sarawak, maybe different case. What do you think? Just type it in there, right? Is this true? The 9 years or 10 years? Some of you may think even, wow, I think this is even more longer than that. But the focus of this is actually talking about the reason. It's basically re-looking back in 2009, what has really happened after the GLC. Now, many of you know what is GLC, Global Financial Crisis, right? And the prices actually rise from 2009. If you see from the chart in here, let me just bring it up, the laser pointer. This part here, you can see, right? This part rise because of QE. Now, those who don't know, QE is quantitative easing. That is where the US FOMC start printing money, and it sort of infected everything in here. And that's what people has gone to speculate. But also at the same time, you heard of this term called DIBS. How many of you heard of DIBS? I'm sure you have to, if you are an investor. So DIBS, where they waive the duties, loans, and at a point, it creates a speculative market and demand, a lot of artificial demand. I still remember one of the properties I went and looked at that time, 2012. One guy bought up, I think, a property about 400,000. He bought 10 units. That's right, 10 units. I don't know how is he doing with it today. But because of the, what they call DIBS, a developer interest bearing scheme, which means typically loans, lawyer fees, summa already in, which means you borrow from the bank lah. And luckily, going out from since 2012, we didn't have a case like what we did previously in the last recession, where we have non-performing loans. Because non-performing loan is the biggest problem inside here. And if you have non-performing loans, you're going to get into trouble. But I think 2009, the bank has sorted it out. And that's what going forward, even 2012 onwards, not easy to get bank loans. Am I correct? Isn't it? Right? So you got to have a solid CTOS, financial ratings, and the thing still persists today. Okay. So having said that, going forward, what do you think? Type it in there. Do you think property prices that you see this spiral down? Now the property prices rise less than 5%, ladies and gentlemen. Some even say, where got 5%? Coming down lah, Martin. Am I correct? But some of you property investors might know. And we do see a big form of moving. See a big form of moving from what we have in 2012 to right now. People are speculating less, and also the property prices has gone way higher. All right, so next story we're going to look at is actually Icon. Now Icon is one of the stock pick that I talk about in here, but I have a treat for you, a video tutorial at the end. Just wait on for a minute. So Icon was a game changer. They want to be a game changer, and what's this story all about lah? Now the story talks about they're really sort of moving from chartering to jack on. Now what do they look like? Okay, I'm going to show you a picture in here. Now this is a picture of a chartering, means they actually have a boat, they carry a lot of stuff, mean they basically like carry supply lah, food, and they move from the shorelines to the shoreline to the oil rig. Basically they're like Uber or Grab on the sea. Grab on the sea lah, right? The charter, I mean, rather than you can charter for 1 month or 1 year. There are different contracts for that. So what they're saying, look, as the market recovery, they felt that what they call jack-up drilling rate is getting more and more. Jack-up drilling is going to get more and more, and this is what, right, going up. So jack rate is getting up more and more. So let's look at the one of the experience I've seen to share with you from my visit from Coastal Contract previously as a company visit. They say this is quite lucrative. One of the reasons why is because when they rent the jack-up rig from you, right, it's monthly monthly payment they have to pay, and they normally sign up for 10 years. So that means stabilizing. I think offshore is trying to go into stabilizing. You see, just like, you know, chartering is like Grab car lah, in the sea. Okay, so basically after the use finish, they want to cut costs. A lot of the oil rig like Petronas may not want to rent anymore, and that's why they're looking for longer term play in here. So let's look at Icon for what it is. Let's switch on to the different screen. So you see Icon. All right, so Icon, what we have here is let's look at the livestock prices. All right, has it gone up with this news? Hey, it's gone up 4%, buddy. So take note, a lot of time I noticed that those of you who've been following this show exactly, right? Every time the news appeared in the morning, 9:30, show jalan one. So that's why we're doing it at 9:30. Okay, so 9:30 you can pick those up. Even the stocks that I've talked about here will move. All right, depending on what we have. So take note that this is one of the characteristics of why news-driven will push stock prices up. All right, that's why it's important to study VSA, and also do like in our page in here, so you're going to find more. If you like what you've seen so far, give me a thumbs up. Okay, that's the only reward I have. I felt good, really wanted to help your people out there. So let's look at the icon. I think icon we selected previously before, but more in terms of the fundamental. Okay, let's look at the hidden fundamentals in here, and you can see icon is rated 1 out of 8 because of the profitability hasn't been there. It's still pricey inside over there, so they're working really hard to make sure the investment that you have is good. All right, let's move on to the next story that we have. All right, it's no other than an undervalued stock. That's right. Not exciting as the rubber glove, not as exciting as the Penta or the Globetronic, which we talk about it. And I think we picked Penta previously and it's already up and running. I bought around $4.20 and we got some for the clients too. And I'm sure you bought some earlier on. And the next question is, do I take profit? Look into Robie. Okay, Robie will have those trading plans inside there, where how long you want to carry, and if you want to take up to the next level, maybe considering joining our package or our membership over there. All right, now GBC, very important. This story talks about the food industry that is considered now. Msia here, I know her, and she's a great writer. Every Monday she'll write one good, and I believe she actually sit down at home and really study, her fundamental very well. All right, I think she covered VS previously. I think it's starting to move up. GBC, we will look at GBC. I'm sure GBC this morning. Let's look at GBC. Let's switch on to the GBC, whether it has moved up or not. Okay, look like stock prices. GBC is up 1%. That's right. Now GBC, if you look at this story, why I like about it, it is basically a food, a chocolate. Now, how many of you are chocolate lover? If you are chocolate lover, let me know. Just type in there, chocolate, choco, or just type C if you are a chocolate lover, okay? Now, why chocolate lover in here? Because chocolate, like it or not, it is a recession proof. And sometimes during recession, people are very sad. What do? They eat more chocolate, right? And also many health promoter also said, chocolate. But actually it's cocoa lah. Chocolate got sugar ma, correct? No, isn't it? It's the cocoa powder that have high antioxidant, and that's what you look at. I still got so much hair, right? Compared to other seafood, no hair, right? I eat a lot of cocoa powder. Now go over and get some cocoa powder, mix it in your morning drink and drink it. It's a very healthy drink inside. Not chocolate, not Milo, cocoa. Sorry, Nestle, although I have Nestle share too. Okay. Now let's look. Now this story basically talk about the slower demand. They were expecting with the lockdown, more people quite depressed, they eat more chocolate, but basically what it's saying is that, look, the demand for chocolate has dropped 5% in here because a lot of the, what you call chocolate business contribute to 20% to GBC. Now let's look at stock fundamental. That's one thing I like about the stock fundamental. This one really, if you look at it, it's a 7-hour rate. Return on equity is about almost 23 times. Pay about just short of 2% inside here, right? Of course, we want to look at the stock prices this morning in here. Let's look at the stock chart first. Okay, hit stock chart, and you can see, right, it actually had a nice spring on the left hand side. Now those who don't have spring, there is a tutorial in there in YouTube. Just look for Pentagon guided training. Look for Pentagon guided trade VSA. You'll find a bit more on what I talk about those SP and UT if you want to know. Now this chart basically tells you, look, the market hasn't moved yet. It has a nice setup, a stage 1 accumulation. Those of you who have come to our course, you know what I mean. This one ready to move. A good fundamental stock, not as exciting as rubber glove. Again, not as exciting as technology, but it is a stable portfolio and a sector to going forward in here. All right, and also this is a recession proof. Okay, and also people eat chocolate, when they are kind of depressed and so forth. All right, let's move on to the next story that we have. All right, I don't want to keep you too long. It's no other than our premium alert. That's right. Now, last week we picked, last Friday. Last Friday we picked a very good stock. I think Dufu. Dufu this morning run a lot. I just share with you in here. Okay, let's look at Dufu. Okay. Let's put on the stock comment in here. Dufu is, wow, it's already gone up. Look at that. Remember, this is what we talk about here. Now, if you have got Trade VSA and Pentagon way back, you buy Dufu on the left hand side. You can't even see it, okay, because the Robie chart shows 3 months, the trading wheel show longer, okay. We have a trading wheel real-time chart. That's the one I'm going to show you too. So this one, you notice a market breakup last Friday. He has gone up. Wow, look at that one. 93% has gone up, almost 100%. The many of this, I think, let's look at the fundamentals, okay. And fundamentals 2 out, not too bad. It's not really expensive, 26 times. What they do, you can click on to Dufu, hit on that one, dufu.com.my, and Dufu Technology. Again, manufacturing technologies and all these things. Of course, we can go into reading it back. But what more important, right, was the what is it doing now? Because we picked this last Friday, right? So if you have gone in last Friday and today, yep, it's up 4%. Let's look at the chart. This morning actually hit about 10%. Okay, look at the real-time chart here, right? I just want to spend a bit more time on this because the market's getting hot and okay. So we just wait for it to spin, depending on the index. Yep, it's coming up. Okay, there you go. Jump up. Very nice one here. Almost 6%. All right, and you got the volume coming in. So this one is going to jalan. All right, let's look at the other stocks that we have. Is what I have in here is FPGroup, which I've selected. FPGroup. Okay, FPGroup, hit that one, and look at the stock price. Okay, so up 0.6. Again, go on to the real-time charts. You can get it right. Now, some of the senior people, I notice, who uses Robie, they tend to struggle. Now, bear in mind, Robie is designed for the new millennium, right? It's designed for the new millennium and designed for the new investor. Some of the older ones, you will find very difficult to use it because this is how we design for it. So if you are struggling, get your son, all right, or your children to help you out inside there, right? Because SmartRobie, it's free of charge inside. It's very simple to use. Just get them to help you out, all right? So it's designed with mind on the mobile phone. I know some of you ask, got desktop? We don't do desktop, man. These days, people are mobile, all right? Okay, let's look at the charts that we have here. Okay, FPGroup. Okay, we are bringing up FPGroup. I'm going to, this one looks at this. Actually, FPGroup pretty good. It went up, had an upthrust. So very important, the upthrust shouldn't confirm. Then if it's that, then it'll be okay. All right, just take note of that one. So we're going to look at it for the next few days. But today, it's still up 0.5%, not too bad. So let's look at the stock that I picked for you this morning. Okay, so before that, I want to just show you the KLSE. Very important to study this on the chart because the KLSE this morning is up at this point about 13 points, which is, wow, very bullish, right? And remember, MIDF say year end, which I posted on Facebook. Okay, what is it? They say it's 1530. Now it's 1560. So they usually have to revise. All right, so let's look at the chart. Now, what's very important is that the correctness of Pentagon Guider, it picks up last Thursday. So that's why it pays reward to follow the Pentagon Guider. Always go to the KLSE chart. And if you don't want to pay or whatever the case is, just use after 5:30, right? Because then you don't have to pay any of the credit. Of course, if you want to use it daytime and you felt that, hey, I make money from the premium alert, I don't mind topping up. You can do so too. Or you can share with your friend and you get free credit. So why this is important? Because if you look on a chart, it means it started to turn green Pentagon. Bullish days are coming, right? So bullish days are coming, and this is why we talk about, you know, the continuing Donald Trump refused to close the economy, and also last Friday I talked about the unemployment rates. How many jobs has been added? You all remember? If you're not, just go over the last Friday and watch it. All right, I just want to close up in here for the 2 stock pick that I pick. Okay, let's hit on the premium alert. Okay. And the premium alert, we have Comfort. That's right. This time I picked Comfort. K-Power is already there, but Frontken also come in. Frontken looks good. I like Frontken. Okay, we picked enough of Avanta, another stock. Okay, so I like Comfort 2127. Okay, and just one. Now remember, premium alert comes out every 30 minutes. New stock. Okay, so Comfort looks pretty good. So we're gonna hit 4%. Just let me write down, and the other one is Frontken. Okay, hit the premium alert in the charts here. Okay, nicely done. You can see This one, Sudah Jalan, and also Green Pentagon on last Friday. So Comfort, it's a good one. Will Comfort run as fast as Hatta, or are they going to play catch up in the coming weeks? You tell me. Okay, so we pick Comfort right now. Pop, 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 we go all the way, then make money. You're happy? Let's just tell people about SmartRobie. Okay, the next stock we have is Frontken, right, which I have here, 0128. A nice number for the Chinese, fat, yat yi fat. Okay, so look at the stock prices. This is this morning stock pick in here, Frontken, 3.8%, okay? Hit that one trading view. Go straight to the trading view chart and we can see it. Hit that one, another one, nice one here. Okay, so we will see this for the last one. Nice setup in here. The Green Pentagon will come in. So sometimes you see, there you go. This one, Green Pentagon, hasn't come in yet, right? It will soon. So you are buying it just before it. So those are my two stock pick for today, the 6th of July. Frontken and Comfort. We'll come and look at it tomorrow. Okay, let's go on to the remaining part of our story here. Right, is no other than, that's right. Now I have a treat for you. This is a stock tutorial that I've done for the members, so I broke it up. And some people ask, how has been your stock pick, Martin, over the 16th of July, first when we started the morning talk show? All right, so you can see on the bottom left hand side, it is 82% win rates. That's right. So it's 82% win rate. And many of you get to see I pick it every day. So what I did, I look back to the old show that I've done and I pick those up. So go ahead and watch this. Use your camera. Take the QR code. It's already on YouTube. I think you can find it also on our Facebook, this video. 80% win rate. Actually, it's 82 point something. Of course, it is on the back of a good fundamental. I also explain the reason and a couple of tips inside there. So make sure you catch this SmartRobie 4 tips to higher winning rates in KLSE share trading, all right, with premium. So make sure you catch this one in here, watch it, and let me know what you think of it, all right? So that's all I have for this morning here. And also don't forget, this coming Wednesday, the furniture manufacturer update, okay, on the post-COVID-19 rally, how to have a winning portfolio on SmartRobie. Do share this coming tutorial, right, that I've just shown you, and also this coming Wednesday night, our evening edition of the Money Talk, Furniture Manufacturers. I'll see you on Wednesday. So with that, don't forget, those of you who are first time listening, please join our Telegram follower. We are growing and we appreciate your support and so much. And I'll see you tomorrow again. Bye-bye.